Robert Garcia says that Pitbull Cruise can definitely beat Devin Haney, undisputed lightweight. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Robert Garcia, in a recent interview, link in the description, says, quote, "People love Pitbull Cruise. The fight with Tank Davis, we all thought Pitbull pulled it off. Even if he didn't win, he won the fans." Now, I got to pump the brakes and hold off on the quote because I think this is a weird statement from Robert Garcia. Again, he says, people love Pitbull. The fight with Tank Davis, we all thought Pitbull pulled it off. I don't know who he's even referring to because I watched the same fight and I didn't think Pitbull Cruise pulled it off. In fact, I thought Gervonta clearly won and outboxed him with one hand. That's what I thought. So I don't know who he's talking about in terms of we all thought he pulled it off. Even weirder is his very next statement where he says, even if Pitbull didn't win, he won the fans. So it's really kind of confusing, the opening statement from Robert Garcia to say we all thought he won, but even if he didn't win, he won the fans. To me, that's a bit weird. I didn't think Pitbull Cruise won. I don't think he was even as close as people made it out to be. I think anytime, especially with the black fighter, that a fighter's in tougher than anticipated, and then the fighter has that namesake like a Gervonta Tank Davis, it automatically gets embellished and amplified, right? I remember, and I don't want to take us too far off course, but make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment, SLC. But I remember I was booked for a film gig and I missed in real time back in the day Floyd Mayweather versus Miguel Cotto. And I knew somebody that was having a fight party and they weren't diehard boxing fans, but they would watch Floyd fights and Pacquiao fight, you know, the bigger fights at the time, right? And long story short, I could remember people describing what was happening in the Mayweather and Cotto fight, right? And I was also on Twitter when I was literally, when the fight was on, I was literally at the airport. And at that particular time, it wasn't easy to watch a pay-per-view from an airport unless the airport was showing the fight. Because that was a while, you know, this fight was a while ago. So there wasn't an easy way for me to watch the fight on my phone or anything back then. Long story short, people on Twitter were going crazy. Floyd got a bloody nose. Oh, Floyd, he's getting whooped. Cotto's destroying him. And I was like, man. And then I seen on Twitter who won the fight. And they said Floyd, I believe unanimous decision. I'm like, that's weird. Because everybody on Twitter and people that I knew that had the house party, it was actually a girl and she had different people over. And she was saying everyone at the party thinks Floyd is losing. Not to mention she didn't like Floyd Mayweather, right? So anyway, I get back home days later after I complete my trip and my work trip. I get back and I watched the fight because I had it recorded. And I watched my fight with Floyd Mayweather and Miguel Cotto. And I'm like, what are people even talking about? It was a good fight in the early rounds, but Floyd mid-rounds to the late rounds clearly pulled it off. And so much to the point where Floyd almost stopped. If you watch that fight again, Floyd Mayweather almost stopped Cotto in the 12th and final round. And then he seen Cotto wasn't necessarily ready to go, so he let off the gas. So I remember thinking, I'm like, what are people talking about? Once again, this is emotion. When you have people like Floyd Mayweather, people like Gervonta Davis, oftentimes black fighters, you see this. If they have tougher than, like, even the Maidana fight, you've seen the same thing with Maidana. Floyd had a good fight with Maidana, you know, and I'm talking really the first fight, because the second fight he clearly won, and he clearly won the first fight in my book. But he had a cut over his eye, he was bleeding. Maidana was trying for it, but I thought Floyd also clearly beat him. But again, people overdid it, embellished, and made it sound like Floyd robbed Maidana and stuff like that. And it just wasn't even that type of fight if you watch it back. So I had to take this quick detour because the comment was weird from Robert Garcia. People love Pitbull Cruise. The fight with Tank, we all thought Pitbull pulled it off. Even if he didn't win, he won the fans. He won that fight. So again, he's back saying he won the fight, which I completely disagree with. He says the fans were crazy over Pitbull. again, in this quote from Robert Garcia, I do not understand why there's such a high emphasis on what the fans are doing and if the fans like the fighter. You know what I mean? Because the Tank Pitbull fight was in LA, right? So it doesn't matter what the fans are talking about, who won the actual fight. He keeps referencing, because at the end of the day, Tank Davis was just at the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight with Luis King Kong Ortiz. And as soon as they showed Tank Davis's face on the screen, they booed him in LA. Like, he got booed for no reason. He was just sitting there. So, you know, I don't understand why Robert Garcia keeps saying what the fans like. Yeah, fans like Pitbull Cruise. He's fun to watch, but that doesn't have any bearing on who won the fight. Robert Garcia continues, you're going to have to be a special boxer to beat Pitbull Cruise at 35. I don't think Haney can hold Pitbull Cruise back because Haney doesn't have the power to hold him back. I think so because I don't think he can hold him back with his power. I don't think he's got the crazy power to hold him back. Pitbull can definitely beat Devin Haney. Pitbull is like a street fighter. He takes a really good punch and he's really strong and he's so aggressive. Devin Haney can outbox him for 3 rounds, but it's going to be hard to do it for 12 rounds. You got a little monster like Pitbull. It's going to be hard. Nobody could outbox Mike Tyson back in the day, and it's a similar style. I mean, that's a bit much, but that's just my opinion. Great power, great chin, and he keeps coming like a street fighter. It's going to be hard to beat Pitbull Cruise, so I think that's a fight that is going to happen. PBC is very smart, and they know that the first fight did really well on the gate, and he's talking about Tank and Pitbull Cruise. I believe they did millions of dollars on the gate. I think a rematch would do 2 or 3 times more. Pay-per-view numbers, they're also going to be double. So, you know, I disagree with a lot of stuff. I mean, as far as Devin Haney, Devin Haney's much bigger and taller. And of course, Devin Haney would not want to get caught with anything foolish versus a guy like Pitbull Cruise. But sometimes that wild man stuff, the aggression and things like that and coming forward can be used against you. And I think that's kind of what happened in the George Kambosos fight. Devin has great fundamentals and he jabbed. He didn't care what the crowd was saying. He didn't care if people want to boo, if people are laughing. He's just fully locked in. So at the end of the day, Pitbull Cruise, he's just Robert Garcia, from my interpretation of his interview, he's making it sound like it's just a Pitbull Cruise show and Devin Haney, the undisputed lightweight champion, has no chance and he's just going to get demolished in there. But to me, it sounds weird. It almost sounds like a casual boxing fan is saying this, because he keeps talking about Pitbull Cruise as like a street fighter, which I actually agree with that assessment. He does fight like a street fighter. But if you ever watch a lot of those videos on YouTube where a street fighter, somebody who has a 50-0 record in the streets, fights an actual boxer, the boxing fundamentals is what creates the separation to the point where the street fighter can't really mess with the actual boxer. And regardless of Devin Haney having power, he has more of a pure boxing style and fundamentals. So, you know, maybe me and Robert Garcia in this specific example in these quotes just disagree. But I mean, we've been here before. Floyd Mayweather and Robert Garcia was training Maidana for the Floyd fights. Maidana has the same, he was a refined, Maidana actually has a better resume than Pitbull Cruise does. And no matter what, Maidana, when he went up against Floyd, he lost twice, right? With the better resume and all that power. So it's not just about power versus no power. I mean, to me, that's like rookie boxing conversations. You know what I mean? So I don't care. Make the fight. Devin Haney, Kambosos winner versus Pitbull Cruise. It would be a big fight. It would be a good fight. But a lot of times in these situations, not always, but a lot of times, the guy who's more skilled and knows he's in against a, you know, wild KO puncher and aggressive guy, the skills pay the bills more often than not. Like, you can do all that wild, man, but he's making it like Devin Haney's going to get discouraged in a few rounds, but that could be Pitbull Cruise getting discouraged in a few rounds if he's getting countered. But like I said, we'll make the fight. We'll have to see, you know, what's next. We have to first see what happens to Kambosos. That's just my thoughts, my early thoughts. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. And I'm introducing Super Things. right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a Super Thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super Thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super Thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready, with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.